Your local news is next, followed by an all-new Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Next week, an all-new medium. In an instant, your life can change. But what happens here is just the tip of the iceberg. All new medium, next Monday on NBC.
The Chevy Red Tag event is here, delivering the #1 selling cars, trucks, and SUVs in America. Most of them tagged with great holiday prices. The price on our tag is the price you pay, not a penny more. Now, get an 06 Cobalt LS Coupe or Sedan for the Red Tag price of $12,938 after cash back. The Chevy Red Tag event. See red, save green. See your participating Northwest Chevy dealer today.
At Safeway, we understand that Thanksgiving is special enough to get your parents on a plane, your kids into something other than a t-shirt, and to bring out the tablecloth. That's why Safeway has all the things you need to make Thanksgiving dinner the perfect time to celebrate your family's traditions and find inspiration to create new ones. Ingredients for life. Safeway.
This is NBC5 News at 11.
Some tense moments in Medford last night as a man thought to be armed with a handgun taunts police. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Selena Davis.
And I'm Dan Spindle. The incident took place just before 11 p.m. when Medford police officers responded to a call claiming that someone who was possibly armed was making harassing phone calls from the parking lot of the LDS Church on Juanipero Drive in Medford. Upon arrival, police found this man, 23-year-old Minor Calderon. After repeated attempts to get him to exit his vehicle, Calderon stepped out of the car shouting, "Shoot me," at the officers. He then attempted to enter his vehicle, at which time an officer discharged a beanbag shotgun, striking Calderon in the abdomen. He was then taken into custody. Police seized a loaded 9mm handgun and marijuana from the suspect's vehicle. Minor Calderon is currently being held at the Jackson County Jail on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm, disorderly conduct, and telephonic harassment.
A man driving a getaway truck is now in jail, but hours of searching couldn't turn up the second man wanted, but police say jumped into the bed of the truck as it sped away from authorities. Just before noon on Sunday, police located two wanted suspects, 20-year-old Jacob Gadberry and 23-year-old Christopher Linder on Highway 99 and South Stage Road. Police say Gadberry jumped into the bed of Linder's Nissan pickup truck and led police on a pursuit, hitting speeds up to 90 miles an hour. The driver, 23-year-old Christopher Linder, was arrested on Dark Hollow Road and Pioneer Streets after police spike stripped the pickup truck. He was charged with reckless driving and 6 counts of drug charges. However, police believe the second wanted man, Jacob Gadberry, was dropped off somewhere near Starlight and Pioneer Streets. According to witnesses, Gadberry attempted but failed to get assistance from several neighbors in the area.
I recognized him, so I just walked into the kitchen. He kept banging on the door, so I just waited, and then he left.
He offered to pay me money if I would give him a ride. He didn't tell me where he wanted to go. And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't drive."
Police spent several hours looking for Gadberry, but as of this evening, they've been unable to locate him. Gadberry was wanted for 2 outstanding warrants. If you've got any information on his whereabouts, authorities ask you to call the Medford Police Department.
Another man is behind bars tonight in a second car-related incident. 19-year-old James Ranahan of Washington was charged with manslaughter and assault after police say he crashed the car he was driving, killing 24-year-old Sarah Ellis, also from Washington. Ranahan and passenger 23-year-old Brian Rushton from Arizona were taken to the hospital with various injuries. The single car crash happened in Eagle Point around 1 this afternoon. Apparently, the car drifted into the opposite lane of traffic and then rolled over multiple times.
A local soldier has been killed in Iraq. U.S. Army Specialist Vernon R. Widner of Coos Bay was one of 2 soldiers killed last Thursday. The 34-year-old Widner leaves behind his wife, Tammy, and their 2 boys, ages 8 and 11. He was on a second tour of duty in Iraq with the 101st Airborne Division out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
You know, the last couple of days have been really hard, stressful. So many people have been calling, and so I don't really think I've had time to really think about things. You know, I can't sleep at night. That could be when I'm thinking, you know. I think the funeral is going to hit me the worst. Going back seeing all his family, and that's going to hit.
Widner died after a civilian vehicle deliberately slammed into the Humvee he was riding in, causing it to flip over. Well, many retired city employees are furious, and one in particular has made the city manager the primary target of his anger. NBC5's Brian Clark has a story.
As a result of that decision by your city manager, he has hurt me. He has hurt the woman I love most in this world. He has hurt the brave retirees sitting in this room tonight.
That's former city attorney Ron Doyle blasting Medford city manager Mike Dial during last Thursday's city council meeting. He says Dial knowingly broke the law when he decided to switch employee insurance policies. The new policy would not cover many of the medical costs of city employees who have retired, including police officers.
You tried buying medical insurance after your leg has been shattered by a criminal's bullet or your back has been permanently damaged while making an arrest.
What makes this issue contentious is the fact that Doyle says that the change in insurance violates state and city law. In addition, he says the city manager and himself had a conversation about the switch of policies while he was still working as the city attorney.
When I told him that what he was planning to do about employee health insurance violated both the city's adopted resolution and state law governing retiree health care insurance, he said, I don't care what the law says. This city is not going to spend one dime on retirees.
Doyle, now retired, has filed one of 2 tort claims against the city.
I'm here tonight to apologize for not having the guts to resign and protest that very day.
For NBC5 News, I'm Brian Clark.
The City Council has decided to hold an executive session to discuss the matter. City Manager Mike Dial told NBC5 News over the phone a few days ago that he is confident the mayor and council will understand and support his decision. He was unavailable to comment today on the issue.
A Nike corporate jet landed earlier today safely, although it had faulty landing gear. Shortly after takeoff from the Hillsborough Airport west of Portland, the pilot reported problems with the plane's right landing gear. The jet circled for about 5 hours to burn fuel and give crews on the ground time to free the landing gear, The landing gear eventually came down and the plane landed safely. 4 Nike employees were on board, including company CEO William Perez. If foggy skies continue this week, travelers in the Rogue Valley should expect delays both on the roads and at the airport as they head out for the holidays. At least 5 flights were canceled today at the Rogue Valley International Airport because of the fog. Airport officials want to remind passengers that the winter weather can be unpredictable and safety is the airline's #1 priority.
Don't assume that because it's foggy at their house, it's foggy at the airport and their flight's not going to go out. So we encourage them to go ahead and get to the airport, give themselves plenty of time for the arrival ticket process and security processing.
Passengers should also check with their respective airlines for any flight changes before heading to the airport.
Well, he's the newest member of the Klamath Falls Police Force, but he's not collecting any paychecks. NBC2's Lyle Ahrens explains.
Meet Achilles, the newest canine cop in the Klamath Basin.
He is a 2.5-year-old German Shepherd from the Netherlands. He is dual trained in patrol and explosives.
Achilles just started his job last week following 6 weeks of training with Officer Warner in North Carolina. Eventually, he'll be assisting officers on tasks such as building searches, criminal apprehension, and finding missing people.
The dog and my training together cost $15,000, which we raised through donations through the community.
The officer behind that effort is Corporal Aaron Thomas, the handler of Cyrus, the city's other police dog.
Corporal Thomas, he's in charge of the K-9 division, and he started the whole process going. He's been out knocking on doors, talking to people, trying to get this running.
Achilles responds only to special commands in Dutch. And while he's a very good dog, it's best to keep your distance unless you're invited to come closer.
If we're out on the street, yeah, just stay away from me, because more than likely they're probably working. So I guess
kind of a don't try and pet the dogs.
Don't try and pet it unless I've given you permission, and yeah, you don't want to run up on me or anything like that. So.
In Klamath Falls, this is Lyle Ahrens, NBC2 News.
A former juvenile offender now charged with shooting up a Washington State mall pleads not guilty. 20-year-old Dominic Sergio Maldonado was brought into a Tacoma courtroom today in body shackles. He's charged with 8 counts of first-degree assault, 4 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of unauthorized possession of a firearm after yesterday's shooting rampage inside the Tacoma Mall. Witnesses say Maldonado opened fire on shoppers randomly, hitting 6 people before taking 3 people hostage inside a record store. Court records show Maldonado has an extensive juvenile criminal history dating back to 1998, including convictions for burglary, theft, possession of burglary tools, and a court order not to possess any weapons.
Democrats today predict a significant number of U.S. troops will come home from Iraq next year. This as last week's war of the words between lawmakers and the White House begins to cool off. Tracy Potts has more from Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Joe Biden.
Today, some key Democrats said a shortage of troops will force the U.S. out of Iraq starting next year.
It is virtually certain we will redeploy a significant number of forces from Iraq in 2006, and more will follow in 2007.
This is a flawed policy.
Congressman John Murtha, whose call for a quick pullout led to a screaming match in Congress,
The House will be in order.
Said today his comments were meant to spark debate.
At some point, I had to focus this administration on an exit strategy.
There's mixed reaction from Murtha's district in Pennsylvania.
He's absolutely my hero.
It's about time for Mr. Murtha to give it up and retire.
The White House, which last week compared Murtha to liberal filmmaker Michael Moore, has now backed off. From China, President Bush called him a good man.
Those elected leaders in Washington who do not support our policies in Iraq have every right to voice their dissent. They also have a responsibility to provide a credible alternative.
And Vice President Dick Cheney says a quick exit from Iraq is not credible.
It is a dangerous illusion to suppose that another retreat by the civilized world would satisfy the appetite of the terrorist and get them to leave us alone.
The question now, with a majority of Americans and a majority of Iraqis questioning the U.S. presence in Iraq, how much longer can the White House justify being there? Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
If you're looking for a great way to kick off your holiday season, you might want to head to downtown Grants Pass. Beginning tonight, the Christmas murals will be on display in the downtown area of 6th and 7th and G&H streets. The murals are wired with thousands of points of fiber optic lights and chime old-fashioned Christmas tunes. The murals will be on display until early January. To learn more about the murals, you can visit www.magicmurals.com, and to find their locations, you can also visit towncenterassociation.org.
Or you can just drive around downtown Grants Pass. They're hard to miss.
That's right. I was going to say, Grants Pass always has those nice, they've got the bears, they've got the murals. It's always very
and we're going to have some
festive.
Nice cold but maybe dry nights to go check out the murals.
The precipitation won't be in the factor. However, fog just might be, unfortunately. I'll come back. I'll give you details on where it is, how long it'll be, etc., etc. But first, a look at the sky view atop the Rogue Valley Manor in Medford.
Get me closer, man. I smell a Hemi. I knew it! The new Ram 1500 with a new front end, new suspension, new frame. It's got a Hemi, all right. And that MDS to save you gas. A new interior. Woo!
That can't be good.
During November, only get a $1,000 bonus cash allowance that gets you a 2005 Dodge Ram 1500 for under 15 grand.
All right, ready? Oh, strike one, strike two.
Can you still make your own
Strike
rules?
4, 5,
Yes,
6,
you can.
7.
Good hit. With Sprint PCS fair and flexible plans, there are no huge overages. You make the rules, not your wireless company. Right now, buy one PM225 by LG with built-in camera and speaker for $9.99 and get one free. For a limited time, get free activation with any phone purchase. Stop by your local Sprint store today. Sprint. Yes, you can.
Yeah, international movement superstar. Original boy man sound.
Whatever motivates you, now we have something that'll really get you moving. Introducing unbelievable membership specials at the 24-hour fitness in the Medford Center. Call 773-2454 and get started today. You to the power of 24.
Tonight, Jay's all new with former President Jimmy Carter, Wentworth Miller, and Eurythmics. Plus headlines.
The man came into the sheriff's department to find out how to legally kill a person who was harassing him. I don't want to break any law.
Then on Conan, Gwyneth Paltrow, Peter Falk, and Conan's impressions are pure magic. NBC tonight.
I'm Megan Clinton, and I'm back for another exciting season as your host of This Week in Real Estate. Please join us twice weekly. You'll be glad you did.
You're watching NBC5 Premier Weather.
Daytime high temperatures on the warm side of normal east of the Cascades and, well, just about all over the scale on the west side, depending on which valley you were in. Fog was somewhat persistent. A lot of Douglas County. Josephine County, kind of an even split. The northern section's still under fog, but the southern section's clearing out. And on the coastline, also fog and low clouds beginning to spread over more of the area. 40s to low 50s were the maximums. Top of the hour temperature in Medford, 33 degrees. Fog either beginning to form or forming. I did not catch the 11 o'clock visibility, but a calm breeze and, yeah, temperature meet the dew point. That's when you tend to have the fog forming or formed. In Klamath Falls, a temperature of 32 degrees and still a 2-degree dew-point depression, that's called, by the way. The spread between the dew point and the temperature. So I don't know if you'll ever use it. It's not depressed or anything, but it's called a depression. And wind is calm. The temperatures in the low to mid-30s. Many areas where the fog formed earlier, it's warmer. 39 in Roseburg, warmer in Grants Pass, no doubt, and low 40s for the coastline. We've got temperatures in the 20s in the Great Lakes states. That's the cold area. Otherwise, a little bit of snow and towards some of the higher elevations in the eastern mountains of the Appalachians, and still some showers offshore and along the eastern seaboard. A little light snow in Minnesota, but it's hard to get excited about much of any precipitation across much of the country. And we are dry, you can say that. With higher elevations, it is hot. In the lower elevations, where the inversion has laid in, you've got the colder air trapped. And so daytime high is not that impressive at the lower elevations. In some cases, some of the highest elevations being the warmest. You can see on this nighttime infrared picture some of the marine fog. You really can't see it inland, though, so never let that fool you. Nonetheless, the ridge of high pressure, pretty obvious. Everything racing way up high and then heading on around. This same ridge that formed early last week. Still got a few days left on it. This will eventually break it down, but give it some time. The Rex block is beginning to break down. We have a little spinning low pressure system here. It's starting to scoot off further to the east, but it's still a very broad ridge. It's just going to take some time to break it down, probably around Thursday night. It does have some implications about Thanksgiving, but we'll get to that in the outlook. First of all, tomorrow, more of the same. Areas of fog with partial clearing on the coastline. I might have been optimistic on the highs. I got fooled on how warm it was today, even with the fog, I think. Probably more 50s out there than what you might see. In Northern California, fair tonight and sunshine tomorrow. Lows in the 20s, highs 50s to low 60s. Cascade Siskiyou Mountains, sunny and hot tomorrow. Past level temperatures near 60. East of the Cascades, some patchy fog, but it really hasn't been a big deal. Lows in the teens to mid-20s and daytime highs near 60. And for western valleys, you can see the cooler spots are the foggier spots with partial clearing only tomorrow. Again, very much like today. Probably the same areas involved. Now, with a southwest breeze, Grants Pass can clear out, and that might happen Thanksgiving Day. An increase in the clouds above it, but with the breeze even then, you'll take it, I think. Your daytime high will really shoot up to near 54 on Thursday, but the chance of rain rolling in Thursday night, more than likely holding off till Friday. Rain first, then snow showers on Friday for the basin. Rain on Saturday night, and then snow showers on Monday. Precipitation amounts not necessarily vast and huge, but it's good to see it. We can't dry in November. This is a rainy month for us, supposedly.
Right. And we need to get the snowpack up.
We need to get the snowpack up, the water year going, that kind of thing. So it's time to go for rain.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Well, as the biggest holiday shopping approaches, have you considered how much you're going to spend?
I know I have. Coming up after the break.
Not much, huh, Dan?
Not much. Not much to spend. Coming up next, some tips on how to keep your budget intact. The big holiday season. That's coming up next.
This weather report is brought to you by Honda.
The all-new 197 horsepower Civic Si from Honda. It'll reverse your thinking.
What if is not a priority. What if never gets the time of day. What if always takes a back seat to how was work. In fact, the only time what if gets any attention at all is when what if becomes why us. Find out why millions turn to American Family Insurance. A little peace of mind for less than you'd expect.
American Family Insurance.
At Qwest, we understand no two businesses are alike. That's why we let you build a bundle of services that is perfect for you. Get high-speed internet, a business line package, unlimited long distance, and wireless, all for just $140 a month. Compare, bundle, and save. Call 1-800-242-5000. That's our spirit of service.
Match that, buddy. My grandmother plays faster than that. I see what you did. I see what you did. I got nothing. I didn't think so.
Sign up for your wake-up call at Target.com. It's never too early to save.
There's an easier way to stay in touch this holiday. With free Call Me Minutes, there's no charge for incoming local calls. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you. Get free incoming local calls and free mobile-to-mobile minutes on select plans.
With the holiday shopping rush just days away, consumer groups are warning shoppers to plan ahead before they spend. The Consumer Federation of America released its annual shopping forecast today.
And analysts are predicting a healthy shopping season. That is, if rising energy costs do not curb the holiday shopping spirit. Michelle Franzen has the story from New York.
The emotional tug and pressures of the holiday season are here, and consumer groups predict shoppers will be out in force with cash and credit cards.
We're expecting a fairly healthy holiday spending season this year with an increase of about 5% over last year, the same period.
The annual survey showed that the number of consumers concerned about making the monthly debt payments has declined, a sign fewer people may be feeling the credit card crunch.
This year, only 19% are very concerned, the same percentage as last year.
But the survey also suggests consumers will be cautious with their money.
Look for better deals, look around, do a little bit more shopping.
This year, the majority of consumers surveyed are worried about something else cutting into their spending budgets, gasoline and home heating oil costs.
60% of households said that energy prices would have an effect on their holiday spending, and almost all of those said it would have a negative effect.
To avoid racking up more debt, experts recommend to plan ahead. Decide what you can afford before you go into a store or online.
Biggest mistake people make, they don't spend that 10 to 15 to 30 minutes to plan ahead.
Sound advice as consumers head into the biggest and most expensive shopping time of the year. Michelle Franzen, NBC News, New York.
Christmas shopping, all right. You guys excited?
Everybody's favorite Thanksgiving eating, I'm more excited about
Yeah. Well, now we're going on to sports.
That's right. The Oregon State game, everybody knows it's more than just a game.
Yeah, it really is, and we're not talking, it's bragging rights for a whole year, basically. We're not talking just the players. This thing is talking fans, everybody. So we will go ahead and take a closer look at the widespread impact of one of the nation's oldest football rivalries, and that's coming up next in sports.
virtually inaccessible. The remote Northern Territory is a fortress of alpine peaks. The terrain's so brutal, its beauty has seldom been seen by human eyes. Only the most adventuresome have ever set foot in this desolate yet picturesque landscape.
This is much better than the movie.
The all-new 7-passenger Jeep Commander. It's your world. Take command. During November, lease an all-new Jeep Commander 4x4 base for $339 a month.
Cash in your extra change for a delicious and affordable bacon cheeseburger from McDonald's Dollar Menu. Add an order of fries and a refreshing Coke for the ultimate dining experience.
My life has taken me away. It seems like yesterday when everything was good and I was home. Hey, I can't wait to see you. I know, it's gonna be great. Not so far away. I'll be home soon. I'll be home for the holidays. I'll be home for the holidays.
Everyone has a holiday wish list. At GMC's Red Tag event, we have a list of our own. Better V8 fuel economy, more standard horsepower, and incredible Red Tag offers. Everything on GMC's list points to putting professional-grade engineering on yours. Get an 06 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab 4-wheel drive SL for $25,861 after all applicable offers. The price on our tag is the price you pay, not a penny more. See some red, save some green at your GMC dealer.
This is NBC5 Sports.
It's no secret that the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers, and their fans for that matter, aren't too fond of one another, and that's what makes the Civil War one of the nation's best football traditions.
Come on, Bailey!
In the state of Oregon, it's either Beavers or Ducks. Unlike the typical skies around here, there is no gray in this debate. And to really grasp the magnitude of this interstate rivalry, look no further than the annual Civil War football game. Let me ask you this, what's the first word that comes to mind when you guys think of the Ducks?
Duck! Cut! Go Duck! Beat! Cut!
Probably
repulsive.
Go Duck! Honestly,
hippies. Hippies. That hippies is good too.
Apathetic. They just don't even matter.
I have thought about dressing up as a beaver for Halloween, but wouldn't want to be a beaver fan for Halloween. It'd be too scary.
The Beavers were fighting for bowl eligibility, and the Ducks had their sights set on a BCS berth. But for the Seas of Orange and Green, that was almost secondary.
Hey, you beat the Ducks. Orange, you beat the Ducks. You ruined it. Your season's all right. Hey, the thing is, if you go 1 and 10, it doesn't matter whether it's all about state breaking rights.
In its 109th year, the Oregon-Oregon State rivalry is the 7th oldest in Division I football. So both sides have had plenty of time to add their own fuel to this fire. Despite a thick Eugene fog, it was easy to see who was the stronger team this time around. Only 37 miles separate the schools, but 42 points filled the gap between the teams on this night. 56-14 Ducks, as Oregon thrashed the Beavers' bowl hopes with the 9th straight home team victory in the series.
No one likes the Beavers. I mean, they're a good team, but after last year, we got to come out and dominate, you know? So BCS what? We're thinking about the Beavers the whole time.
Does this win make your season either way?
I don't make our season. It starts it, but we need to go ahead and finish it, whichever ball game we go to.
The Oregon victory gave the Ducks a 55-44-10 overall advantage in the head-to-head series and avenged a 50-21 loss in Corvallis last season. Well, in years past, Vikings at Packers would have had serious NFC North implications. So while tonight's matchup at Lambeau Field may not have had the same luster as we're used to, 4-5 Minnesota was looking for its 3rd straight win as it visited 2-7 Green Bay. Second quarter, Brett Favre puts one right on the money to Donald Driver on the long slant there. DD goes 53 yards for the score. Pack led 14-7 at the half. In the third, Minnesota tied it at 14 with this theatric face and plunge up the middle. Now 17-all with seconds left. In comes Paul Ettinger. He beat the pack with a career-long 56-yarder back in week 6. This time 27 yards. Same result. Vikings climb back to the 500 mark with a 20-17 victory in what may have been Brett Favre's last Monday Night Football appearance. And the 8th-ranked Gonzaga men's basketball team battled 23rd-ranked Maryland at the Maui Invitational today. First half, Maryland's DJ Strawberry, son of Darryl, gets the steal and the jam there. Terps lead 32-29. Second half, though, Gonzaga's Derek Rivio comes off the high pick and fires. Good for 3. Rivio was just money down the stretch. And, of course, Adam Morrison, 25 for him. Gonzaga wins at 88-76. They will battle Michigan State in tomorrow's semifinals. And also worth mentioning, Portland Trailblazers, Ruben Patterson being left behind on a 6-game road trip because he cursed at Nate McMillan in last night's game.
Cool. Never a good thing.
Shame on him.
Never a good thing. All right, thanks, Brent. We'll be right back after the break.
Local 911 calls way, way up.
8104, 8153.
Emergency response time way too long.
We recognize the problem.
The challenges our local lifesavers must now face, enormous.
If not impossible.
NBC5 reveals for the first time why your safety could be in serious jeopardy. Condition critical. Tomorrow, only on NBC5 News at 6.
24 valves churning. 6 speakers pumping. And 17-inch wheels spinning sure is better than 7 swans a-swimming. The one and only Mercedes-Benz winter event. Give yourself the gift of an exciting C230 sports sedan. Stop by your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a special lease offer through January 3rd. But hurry, the holidays go fast, and these offers go faster.
Qwest brings you the best value in TV and internet this season. Bundle with Qwest for the total digital experience. Super fast, reliable, high-speed internet and DirecTV service available from Qwest, all for only $62 a month. You can't get all this from cable. With Qwest, you get high-speed internet on a dedicated connection and DirecTV service with 100% digital quality on every channel. Do the math and save. Call 1-866-4BEST-FOR-YOU. That's our spirit of service.
At Safeway, we understand that Thanksgiving is special enough to get your parents on a plane, your kids into something other than a t-shirt, and to bring out the tablecloth. That's why Safeway has all the things you need to make Thanksgiving dinner the perfect time to celebrate your family's traditions and find inspiration to create new ones. Ingredients for life. Safeway.
Now at Roe Motors GM in Grants Pass, you can purchase a 2005 Buick LeSabre for just $13,995. With it comes luxury, fuel economy, and remaining factory warranty. The first 4 of these rental returns sold shortly